So hello and welcome back to Pentacube. Today I'm going to be doing a beginner's 2x2 tutorial. So if you're a beginner and you don't know how to solve a 3x3, I recommend knowing how to solve a 2x2 first, because a 2x2 is easier than a 3x3 for pretty obvious reasons. And so in this tutorial I'm just going to demonstrate how. So this guide is quite in-depth. So it explains exactly how you're supposed to do it and repeats things a few times. If you want a faster guide and you don't have much time, then I will put a link to that in the description. So you can basically split the process into solving a 2x2 into two steps. The first step is to solve one layer of the cube. So a layer it's not just a side, because all the bits on the side also need to be the same, so all the corners need to be in the correct position. For example, this is not a layer because, as you can see, these don't match, even though this side is all white. So you have to make sure that all of these bits match. And then the second step is to do the last layer, and you will also split this process into two different steps. However, the basic idea is that you just solve the last layer somehow, and then there's quite a few ways to do this. In this video I'll just explain the most basic method of doing it. Right, so first, to solve a 2x2 you have to first have it scrambled. Now, as I said before, the first step is to solve a layer. It actually is pretty intuitive and it should be pretty easy, so if you usually just try doing a layer by yourself, see if you can do it yourself. If you figure out how to do it yourself then you probably won't need to watch some bit of a tutorial, so you just skip to the time indicated on the screen. So now I'll explain more in detail how to make a layer. So first what we want to do is make a bar, so that's just two connected pieces. This should be very, very easy and it shouldn't require any detailed explanation, so like that. So again, these colors have to match to make a bar. So now let's just say we're going to solve the white layer. Then we need to get the next piece. So as you can see, this piece, it's actually pretty easy to put in here like that. However, you may notice that is not the right color, so you won't actually make a layer by doing this, you will only make a side. So what we want is you have to have this over here instead. So now let's go back to here and let's see if we can think about how to get this into here. Now, there's a pretty easy way to do it. It's just, you have this piece here, and then you just bring this piece up, bring this area up, and you put it in, and then you go down, and now this piece should be in here. There's also quite a few different ways to do it. You can just do that, and it should be pretty simple. You just put that piece in there, and then finally put the last piece in with pretty much the exact same method. So now that's just pretty much how you do the layer. It shouldn't be too hard. And now the hardest step is the second layer. So what you want to do first for the second layer is you want to try and get all the top to be yellow. Now here you will need to learn an algorithm. So I'm just going to show you what this algorithm looks like. So it's simply you go up, left, down, then right. If you've already learned cube notation, which I have a link to if you want to learn it, it will be helpful if you want to get better at 2x2. It's going to just be R, U, R prime, U prime. So this algorithm, you may notice that if you repeat it 6 times, it solves the whole cube. And you also may notice that if you do it twice, then this bottom corner here will get rotated once. Right, if you do it twice, 2 more times, then it gets rotated again, and then 2 more times it solves, it goes back there. Now this will be very useful when we are trying to solve our second side. So I'm just going to have an example here. So what we want to do is first, now we want the solved layer on top. So now you should know what color you're trying to get here. So if you have a white layer, then you're going to have the next side going to be yellow. It's pretty easy to figure out which side is on the other side. So you just look at white and then see which color is not next to it. So white here, you can see there's blue, there's green, there's orange and red, but there's no yellow. So that means yellow has to be opposite white. So that means we're aiming to make this all yellow. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the white on top and then let's say an unsolved corner here. So unsolved is just going to be one that doesn't have yellow on the bottom. So this would already be a solved corner, so we don't want that. So we want to have an unsolved corner here like this one. So all you're going to do now is just repeat the algorithm that I showed you. So it's up, left, down, right if you forgot. And just keep doing it until we get yellow on the bottom for this corner. So you can see we've done it right there. Now once we've done that, we simply rotate the bottom layer once. Don't move the top layer. If you do, then you will mess it up. Then once you've done that, you just keep doing doing it again for this one. So you keep doing it until you get yellow, and then next one. Then keep doing it. Then once you've done once all the corners on the bottom have fixed yellow, you should also have fixed the top layer. Now there are cases where you might not fix the top layer. So for example, in this case, if you just try and follow the process, you do this, right, you keep going, then you get a different unsolved corner, and then you do this. You will notice that you have the yellow side solved, then the white side, however, the white layer is now no longer solved. Now what you do is you just keep repeating this algorithm to see if you can solve the white layer. Now in some cases you will not be able to solve the white layer, and that means you have messed up the algorithm somewhere and just start again. But some cases you have solved it, and you may notice that there's only one corner that's not solved. This means you have a corner twist. So what you have to do is just twist it back. Pretty simple. I'm just going to do another example for one of these. So here is another example. So here we have none of the yellow here already, so you can just start on any corner. Let's start on this one. So you're just going to do up, left, down, right, and keep repeating it. And now we have yellow at the bottom, so now we rotate the bottom bit, the bottom layer. Again, don't move the top, you keep going. Oh, we have yellow on the bottom, so now we move on to the next one. Yep, we have yellow on the bottom, so last one. Now we have finished the yellow side, and now we also still have our completed white layer. So now the final step for the second part of the process of solving the last layer is you need to just solve the rest of the cube. So here you have three cases. So one case is that you have already solved the cube, you just needed to rotate the top side. That's pretty simple. Then there's a case where you can make it so that there are only two unsolved corners, so two solved and two unsolved, and you will find that the two solved ones are next to each other. Right, so in this case, the two solved, this one is solved and this one is solved, right? They're all in the correct position and next to each other. Then the two unsolved ones are also next to each other. Then there's one final case where you also have two solved and two unsolved corners. However, the unsolved and solved corners are diagonal to each other. So the most common case you'll get is this case where there are two unsolved corners next to each other. So I'll do this one first. So what you do is you hold the face that you have solved on top. In the front, and then the two unsolved corners at the top. Now you're going to do this algorithm. So first I'm just going to do it in words that are easy to remember. So up, left, up, bottom twice, down, left, up, bottom twice, down, down. And now we have solved it. Now if you want to do notation, that will just be so holding the cube like this, R, U prime R, D2, R prime U, R, D2, R2. Now for the other case where you have two corners diagonal to each other, Then what you do is you simply hold it with the face in front and with any orientation, and then just do the algorithm that I just showed you. And now that just simply takes you to the other case, which I already showed you. You just do this, the algorithm again, and you are done. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you found this video interesting and or helpful, then please like and also subscribe so that you get notifications for upcoming videos. And otherwise, I think I'll see you in the next video.